People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe and them things. Now, obviously, in relation to Arsenal and players taking wage cuts, we've seen a lot over the last few weeks. First as a collective, we didn't agree it. And then some players did, some people for it. Collectively, we reached an agreement. You've seen the executives take a cut. You've seen Arteta take a cut. The vast majority of the side, in fact, the majority of the side, excluding 3 players, 2 at this moment remain unnamed. 1 has been leaked as Mesut Ozil. Considering what his agent said last week or the week before in relation to not just Ozil's situation, but he spoke generally about, cuts and things, it's not really a surprise. Now, that's neither here nor there, sorry. So I'm not going to get into it. But in recent things, you've seen it develop that I might as well just read it. Fears within the camps of some players that were effectively pressured into signing up to 12.5 pay cuts, plus concerns that representatives of players have been cut out of negotiations ahead of contractual agreements. So players were apparently certain players felt pressurized into taking this, people. Which is quite scary, people, because I don't think people should be bullied or pressurized. And that's why, whether you believe in agents or not, you need to be surrounded by the right counsel to make informed decisions. I'm sure a lot of you know how mortgages and how, whether you're going to get a car or something on finance, or you're going to get a mortgage, or you're going to take out a business loan. You might think you know what you're talking about, you might research it, you might know it, but you still need 9 times out of 10 a mortgage advisor, financial advisor, some sort of quote-unquote expert to brief you on what you don't know. And more importantly than that, sometimes what can bite you in the arse, what you don't know, you don't know. And that's the same with agents. There's no way around it. It's a bit sneaky, people. Clubs go in, and specifically in our case, Arsenal, let's call a spade a spade. Any sort of contractual agreement, you need your agent. If it was contract negotiations, if it was to negotiate a transfer, if it was to improve terms or do something or inform players, your agent would be involved. So why were they not in the room? Because for obvious reasons, you can see why a club wouldn't want them. You can obviously see how certain people could be pressurized, especially young, impressionable players who might he's scared that they ain't going to get an opportunity in the first team, or these things are going to go against him. For what it's worth, Arteta's a man of integrity, and so are many people in the club, but we have to call a spade, people. And obviously, in line with what's well publicised, Arsenal's lack of management over wages, you can see, or wage management, you can see how we can begin to right wrongs. Something really does rub me up the wrong way, allegedly. Well, really, people, that, think about it. If you're a player and I want to do something that affects your contract or the money you're getting or whatever, people, without even factoring inflation and these factors, and I want you, I'm the manager, I want you, or I'm the club and I want to do this to you, and I'm not involving your agent or whatever, that's not a bit shaky. You're impressionable. You might agree to something, you don't even know what you're agreeing, and by then, I's have been dotted, T's have been crossed, you're out of it. So it's a problem, people. Allegedly, an agent of a first-team player, now this is all speculation, said, he said, a considerable number of players changed their stance because they felt under a maximum emotional pressure campaign. Now again, rightly or wrongly, clearly the club are going to pull on their hamstrings and talk about Arsenal's values of togetherness, etc. Players already fractured because they were fed to the wolves by politicians. They're seen as the messiahs and expected to save the society, even though the point is they contribute a lot more than honest people like me and you to taxes, because they have a higher tax bracket, and we're paying for things like the NHS, and the NHS is underfunded, and MPs that should be looking after this, or their mandate should be looking after this, are pointing at footballers, which 9 times out of 10 are middle class individuals. Let me not be, no disrespect to footballers, they do struggle to articulate themselves, and footballers can't really help themselves. If they speak about it, people tell them to shut up. They don't do anything, or allegedly not seen to do anything. They don't care. They live in a bubble. They can't win, people. They can't win when there's other sportsmen. I'm not saying any sports person should pick up the buck, but F1 racers, forgive me if I'm wrong, collectively are earning more than footballers. I don't watch F1 like that to know what go on, but I'm pretty sure. Now, within reason, unless there's an F1 race and things, they're less in the public eye like footballers. But why are you not looking at them? Because 9 times out of 10, these lot come from that sort of society. People don't like footballers. They don't like the fact that you can go from an estate in North London or South, which is at the moment, and earn millions of pounds and do things. They don't like it. They don't like people like Rashford coming from Moss Side in Manchester, which I'm from North London, and I know them sides there is a bit mad. They don't like that stuff there, people. It's And you can see, obviously, on top of that, the emotional campaign, the club will be, oh, we're under pressure. And again, add into that cocktail the prospect or being scared of not playing for your team or disaffecting sporting decisions, whether Arteta or anyone's a man of integrity or not. You can see how this is one big punch that a player would have to drink, which is quite scary, sort of thing, people. Again, they're put under emotional pressure. Their advisors are not in there. You can see how the club can push through what they want, and players can get scared. And it's about, in any decision, in any business decision, which this is, it's about controlling your emotions. You need to be prepared to walk away. You need to be prepared to negotiate. But before that, you need to understand what's going on. And I'm pretty sure some players didn't, and stuff like that. And the very people talking about the club's values, there's a man at the top that earns £1 billion. That's $1 billion. How many billions worth? And the club's worth a couple billion. You see it, people. It doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not talking about, if the business is struggling, people have to take cuts, people have to change up things. But, if players, which you have heard, not Arteta, Ozil and a number of them, Arteta's men, have had legitimate concerns, not necessarily about taking the wage cut or the deferral of wages. They want to know exactly how the money's going to be spent, how it's going to be utilised. If it can be seen in white and black and white, whatever you want to call it, then I'm sure they don't. But as you've seen with the furlough scheme, I'm not saying Arsenal are going to do this. Clubs will look to exploit anything. Clubs are worth billions, billion owners, all these things. They onto that furlough scheme. Why? Because all they see is green and red. The balance. Is it good? Is it bad? And all that matters is a better balance sheet and a better. You see it, people. You can see any little thing they'll exploit. So you really want to put it past you? You think clubs don't do this emotional blackmail to players a lot? I'm not saying Arsenal did that, but it sounded like that. For what it's worth as well, and again, Mesut Ozil is willing to join his AFC teammates in taking a pay cut / deferrals, but wants assurances over the club's future financial plans, sources have told ESPN allegedly. ESPN also say Mesut Ozil rejected the pay proposal because of a lack of effective communication over how the money would be used and the future financial implications, rather than for personal financial reasons. And again, if you don't understand, or your agent is telling you, on behalf of me, this is what I need to know to advise you on what to do, this is what you need to do. Obviously, Ozil would be an idiot, or anyone would be an idiot. You'd be an idiot to employ, like who agents get, typically they're family members as well, but agents are getting 5 to 10%, excluding deals and stuff, for you're paying them for your services. You're paying them a part of your contract for your services. So really, the agents, even more reason, because that's how they pay their bills. They should be involved. And Ozil is paying for that council. Why would you pay for council and go against them? Well, obviously, if you believe they're wrong, then go and do some other things. But why would you, you've been in, you get it. It wouldn't make no sense to go against your council. If Ozil is relaying the information which he's being told by the club or anyone, which they should, and the agent is saying, ask this, ask that, or no, I need to be involved, then they're fully right to sit on their hands. And that goes for Ozil, that goes for anyone. Because if I was to invent a story, let's just say it's soccer artist Aubameyang and Ozil, and you could say Mustafi, I say this because you look at soccer artist Aubameyang and Ozil, what do they have in common? Their contract length. What also do they have in common? They're in the last years of their deals. Now, Ozil's the big, highest paid man. Aubameyang, there's talk of leaving. There's talk of allegedly signing a new deal. Just say he plans on leaving. He wants to get his bread. He wants to, because you're seeing some even reports that when you leave a club, there could be some grey areas as to the money you're owed and stuff. So they might be sitting on their hands, being in last years of their deals, want to think about this. Because then, they haven't got much longer left in terms of earning potential. So they've got to think about these things, people. So again, if there's not clear information being said of as to, these are the implementations of the steps we want, this will be the impact it has, and this is X, Y, Z. And I'm sure they don't want they really do, but not a detailed cash flow sort of diagram, but a detailed thing. If there's grey areas, why would you sign any contract? Think about it, people. If you go to a phone shop and there's grey areas, you don't really understand the contract. They're telling you got this, you got that, you can have this, you can get that, you can get money off, but you don't understand it. You'd be an idiot to sign it. You would be an idiot to sign it. You would be. And no one can laugh but yourself. So that's like anything. If you don't understand something, you need to understand it. It's as easy as that. Apparently, the Mirror has claimed Arsenal want to reach agreements with 2 of the 3 players that have refused the club's 12.5 pay cut so far. Apparently, according to sources that have spoken to Goal.com, they confirmed talks are continuing with the players who have not given their full backing to the cut, and there is a feeling that they may, once certain questions are answered, fall into line with the rest of the squad. No one has rejected the proposal out of hand. They just want to know more about how the saved money will be used and the financial pressures Arsenal are facing. And that's true. The club, you get it, it's like a business. You want to know the business of the health of your business. Because again, if you work for a medium business or medium size or small size or a large company, but you know, the balance sheet, whatever you do, whether that's admin, whether that's, you know, management, whatever you play your part in to help turn that balance sheet green, you want to know the health of the company. If the health is looking iffy, then some man might skate, some man might stay, you know, before you make decisions on your deal and things like that. People should look at these things and imagine there's many examples from a working sort of example, people. We'll see what happens, man. Hopefully everybody comes to an agreement. I spoke about this in the last vid, but one thing that annoys me is the rat, whoever did it, whoever leaked it. Because it's been sinister. You've done this to damage. And again, it doesn't matter. I'm sure, listen, I think Mesut Ozil is we need to move on from it. I think in terms of, you know, there's a lot of players, him included, Lacazette right now away from it, Kolasinac, there's players on wages that we can look to change on. Again, I think there's reasons for Ozil to sign the cuts and the deferrals and all these things. I think there's plenty of reasons not to. And again, you're not right, you're not wrong for any of this. What is wrong is that people that are not caring for the facts are scapegoating it. Because what's gone over people's head, the fact that Ozil remains open to such, but until he finds out certain things or his counsel finds out certain things, he's not on it. Do you get it? There's two other names. Nobody's really speaking about that. Not that I want them to come out sort of thing. So this has been a sinister thing for me anyways. Like someone has put that out there to damage Ozil or to try and force him out the club and stuff. And now whether you think he should be moved on or not, which a lot of us do feel, you lot that can really have a conscience, you know that's wrong, people. You know it's wrong. Like a lot of you do. The problem is with Ozil, some people can't take away their opinions of a player and whatnot and see an agenda when they see one. I can't take that from them. All I can do is say ignorance is bliss. But you lot watch my channel, so you lot know what to do in regards to this. But for now, it's time to go eat my chicken and rice, man. I want my dinner. On that note, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching.